Okay, so let's look at the Mozart Piano Sonata, Opus 10, number 3, second movement, measures 1 through 9. So we're going to start by looking at the bass note, D, D, C sharp, D, E, D, C sharp, C, B flat, F sharp, G, then G sustains, G sharp, A, D. I'm going to take that over here to the manuscript paper, and I'm going to move it all to the same octave. Okay, so I'm going to get my key here. I'm going to do it just right in the middle of the staff here. So D for this, D, C sharp, D, E, D, C sharp. C sharp, D, E, D, C sharp, C natural, B flat, F sharp, G, and then G, I'm just going to keep it in this register, G, G sharp, A. It's easier to see stuff if you don't do the octave leaps, if you just kind of put it in one register. And then here we're back to D. Okay. So now if we're looking at this, I see a few things I notice right away. The way I approach this, I'll look through and I see that this is lots of stepwise motion here. See how this is all just winding around? Okay, and then I look for some leaps, and here's a leap that takes us to G, and then A, and then D. So that I think helps us to find that this is the Bassbrechung, the bass arpeggiation, and this is our intermediate chord. In this case, it's a 4, and this is 1, this is 5, and 1. So now all of this can be understood as embellishing this. I'm actually going to take it down here and talk about it in terms of fleshing out the deeper structure. Okay, so if we come from this, okay, as our deepest structure, then I want to add in this G. That's the next embellishment. Now, looking at all of this, do you see how this moves around and moves to the B flat? So overall, our motion is to B flat and then down to G. So what that is really doing is, this is a subdivided leap. Third. A fifth divided into 2/3. So rather than just 1, 4, 5, 1, instead of leaping down the fifth to the 4 chord, we do it as a subdivided leap, just like we saw in species counterpoint. Now here, I see D, C sharp, C natural, B flat. So this is filling in C sharp, C natural, B flat, filling in chromatically, D, C sharp, C, B flat. There's not a B natural, but this little bit. And do you see how all of this right here looks like it could be a prolongation of this C sharp, where that's a constant skip up to E with a passing note and back down. I want to show you something in the music that confirms this right here. This that C sharp goes up to E and comes back down to C sharp. So look right here. Here's C sharp, D, E, D, C sharp. And you see this appoggiatura here and this appoggiatura. If we take out the appoggiaturas, this goes C sharp, D, E. This goes E, D, C sharp. So these two pitches are swapping here. It's a voice exchange, and then they come back. Okay, so it's just a voice exchange. In fact, I'm going to sketch that here. How do I want to do this to make it clear? I'll do it up here. Keep it separate. So in the piece, it goes E, D, C sharp, D, E, and this and these are consonant skips and a prolonged pitch. Okay, so this E doesn't really have a function in this bass line. It's actually the E from the upper part being exchanged down here to give this little melodic curve, and then we continue on. So now, hierarchically, we've got D going to C to B flat, and then we have this C sharp as a passing note between the C. This C sharp is the passing note between D and C. Okay, so I'm fine with these little stems here to just show this motion, but I think we do need to then show overall D down to G, sorry, B flat down to G, all part of this overall motion of down the fifth with the subdivided leap. So then if we've got that, that's connecting our neighbor note. Here's a neighbor note, and here's a passing note. And that pretty much takes care of it. Okay. So now we could add to this, if we wanted, the full analysis. Sometimes it's nice to write that up here. I mean, this is the deeper structure of the harmony. But then we could say up here, this is 1, and then we get a 4-6-4, it's pedal 6-4, and then 7, diminished 7, going to 7 diminished 6-5, and back to 7. And these are just, of course, passing 6-4s. So they don't need a Roman numeral, they're just filling in the voice exchange. This C natural is combining with F sharp up here to give us a 5, 4, 2, a 4. So we're tonicizing the 4 chord. And then, of course, that goes to a 4, 6 before going to 4 in root position. And this 4 in root position also gets 5, 6, 5 of 4, tonicizing it. And then we have over this G is a 4 chord, but then it becomes C sharp, E, G, B flat, which is, what do we call that? C sharp, that would just be 7. 7 diminished. This is over the G right here, under the G. 4, 3. And then the G sharp comes in, and the G sharp starts out as E, G sharp, B, D, which is 5, 7, a 5, 5, 6, 5, a 5, and then becomes a 7 fully diminished 7, a 5. So this G sharp is both of those. Let's make it the 7 fully diminished 7 of 5 because it's that for most of the measure. And then this strong 5 chord has a cadential 6-4 and a 5-3 and a 1. Okay, so if I were to sort of play this from the background, right? First of all, we got 1-5-1. And then 1-4-5-1. Take it down an octave. And then D down to G gets a third divider, subdivided leap. And then we fill in passing C sharp and C natural. and then we get the whole thing. Okay, so this is the Beethoven Piano Sonata, Opus 10, number 3. Okay, I'm just going to leave that for right now. And I'm going to stop the video. I'll do a separate video for the Mozart underneath, because this one we're going to do a bit with. But I'll leave this here if you want to get a nice screenshot of it, if you want to compare it to what you had and use it to tweak how you approach things in the future. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I will do another one for the Mozart.